All right, well, NYPD leaders not having a lot to say while getting grilled during budget hearings yesterday about controversial Twitter tirade by the department's top brass. Now, City Council Speaker Adrienne Adams demanding answers about the department's policies and procedures. Listen.
Do you feel that post was appropriate?
Again, we're going to allow the DOI investigation to play out. I think that is critical. I don't think...
Do you feel?
But I'm here speaking on behalf of the
Commissioner,
department.
do you feel that post was appropriate?
As you know, it's an active investigation. At that very end, I might be the arbitrator of discipline, so at this time, I cannot comment what's an active investigation.
It is important that that investigation be allowed to play out in fairness for everyone involved, whatever one's view on the post.
Do you feel the post should have been deleted?
Speaker Adams,
Do you feel it was deleted improperly?
I am not...
Do you feel it should have come back?
Speaker Adams?
Commissioner, do you feel that the post was appropriate and should have been, or should have been deleted?
Okay, certainly got tense, right? Investigation currently underway on those tweets, including the one aimed at City Councilmember Tiffany Caban, who is joining us this morning. So, Councilmember Caban, great to have you here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The most recent tweet from Chief Shell was directed towards you, calling you garbage and some of your views garbage. Chief Shell was supposed to be there yesterday, along with Kaz Daughtry, along with Tariq Shepard. The three of them did not attend. We're being told it was a decision by all for them not to attend. What did you make, first and foremost, of them not showing up to the hearing?
I mean, it wasn't surprising. It's not the first time NYPD brass has not shown up to hearings. It's just, you know, the continuation of a pattern of unaccountability. We've had hearings where nobody from the NYPD shows up, and that should be particularly concerning to New Yorkers when our job as a legislative body is to provide oversight. We're the people that are responsible for getting those answers from agencies to make sure that they're not engaging in misconduct, to make sure that they're delivering for New Yorkers every day. So it wasn't a surprise, unfortunately, but it was still rather disturbing.
Yeah, now the tweet that Dan mentioned by Shell was posted, then taken down, and then reposted. Now, this wasn't the first time that you were targeted, though, on social media, though, right? I mean, how many times before? And have you ever felt threatened at all by some of these tweets?
It wasn't the first time, and I kind of want to broaden it so it's not just focused on me, because this behavior goes beyond that, right? We have seen the department and Shell in particular attacking the press. That's dangerous. It's dangerous to our democracy. It's, you know, dangerous for what it says for our city in terms of expectations. And yes, we know that around the country, there was actually a study done. Political violence against particularly elected women of color is on the rise. And so they know that they're inciting violence when they say these things. They know what kinds of reactions they're going to get. But the bigger problem is that this is prohibited by law, right? The NYPD, law enforcement, is not allowed to engage in political speech. And there's a reason for that. It's what separates authoritarian governments from democracies, right? And we are very proud to be a strong democracy. And it's in conflicts of interest law in the city. It is a violation of the NYPD patrol guide. I would argue that, you know, as a lawyer, I would argue that it's in violation of the Federal Hatch Act. And so there becomes a question of who's in charge here? Are you allowing this agency to be lawless and unaccountable? And what does it mean for the overall safety of everyday New Yorkers? Not just me, but New Yorkers in general.
I mean, you've heard from the mayor, right? The mayor said that everyone's entitled to their opinion. Kind of standing by some of those tweets just the other day on Tuesday, saying that they set the tone for the department, and then he appeared with them at a press conference a few minutes later. Do you think that was the appropriate response, or would you like to see some kind of action taken against Chief Shell?
I mean, absolutely not. Listen, I think that, first of all, this is an officer, and I don't know if folks know this, but took a man's life. He shot a man in the back, was tried in a civil hearing, and that jury found that he lied about it being an accidental discharge, and yet he was promoted and is the top patrol cop in the entire city. I'm really proud of our speaker. She has brought the fight directly to the mayor's doorstep. She has been really principled on this, in contrast to a mayor who said, I used to be a cop. I'm going to get elected, and I am going to hold cops accountable. I'm going to make sure they do what they're supposed to do. And it's really clear. This is behavior that is prohibited by law, by policy. So it's, again, not surprising, but incredibly disappointing.
How do you think it should be handled then? Should every single post by, I mean, there's some, 250 social media accounts? Should every single post be approved by the department before it's actually posted?
I mean, there needs to be some sort of protocol, right? And if you don't have the infrastructure to handle and vet those 200 accounts, then 200 people should not have, you know,
Those accounts.
passwords and accounts and the driver's seat to those things. And I want to zoom out again because this is part of a larger problem, right? You have the NYPD engaging in this political speech. You have them billions of dollars at this point in misconduct and brutality settlements. You had them when they went out to the Columbia raid, block 15 blocks and not let the free press in. We allow press into war zones, and then they went in and filmed a propaganda video. You put all of this together, and you should be really worried about who's in charge and what's happening in
Let
this
me just
moment.
ask you this, we're out of time here, but I did ask Shell about those tweets when he was on Picks and Politics last week, and he said that you hate police and that he wishes he didn't have to do it, but he wanted to engage because of the views you have towards the police. I just wanted to give you a chance to respond to that statement.
Absolutely. I care deeply about the safety and health of our community. I am a kid from a working class background in Queens who is brown and queer, and I've seen the responses of law enforcement in some ways. I've been a public defender, and I know that policing is not the answer to everything. So it's not about the worker. I tell the story all the time. My parents grew up in public housing. My dad said, you take every civil service exam that comes up. It's a way to get out of the projects. It's a way to send your kid to college, to have good health care. And I'm never going to hold anything against a worker. But I think the city's job is to create a workforce that meets the needs of everyday New Yorkers, and we don't have that workforce in this moment because we are relying on the police to do too many things.
But you don't hate police.
I don't hate people. I hate the policies that are not delivering us the safety and health that we deserve. I hate that they're getting billions and billions of dollars when we can't keep our libraries open on Sunday, when we can't have affordable housing in our city, and those are the choices that we're making. I'm a nerd. I love data, research, evidence, and everything shows that more money into these punishment systems on the back end as a reaction does nothing in comparison to that preventative, money going into our schools, our hospitals, mental health care, et cetera.
Understood. Councilmember Caban, we're going to have to leave it there, but appreciate you coming on this morning to tell your side of things. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Appreciate it.